from Quito. It seems to me that people are more diverse from their accents and their look. And for me, personally, I can breathe better here because I'm closer to sea level, and it's warmer, so I can wear shorts, and I change my wardrobe a little bit. Like most port cities, the water's edge is a great place to hang out. Now, in Guayaquil, it's really hot, so the Malecón is a great place to
Malecón.
chill after the sun has gone down and things have started to cool down a little bit. Strolling along the Malecón at night is the thing to do for families, lovebirds, and travelers in Guayaquil. Along this mile-and-a-half walkway, you can get a bite to eat, catch a show, and learn some history about this fascinating port city. In Ecuador, I've been climbing and climbing, and just because I'm at sea level, it doesn't stop. Here at Cerro Santa Ana, you gotta climb a lot of steps. 444 steps to be exact, but take your time. You can stop along the way to get an empanada or hit the bars and souvenir shops. But when you get to the top, wow, what a view. Ecuador's main port city is also its largest. The Spaniards founded Guayaquil in the mid-1500s, but it was later occupied by the English and French. At the turn of the 20th century, Guayaquil was an important spot for exporters of cocoa and other items. I wanted to learn more about this city's heyday, so I visited the Parque Histórico, or Historical Park. Fabricio, this is a representation of Guayaquil in the early days?
Yeah, but actually remember something, these buildings or houses were located in Guayaquil. We removed these buildings to the park.
Okay.
It's like piece of wood.
Oh, wow.
Normally people say, oh, beautiful replics, but not really, because these houses were located in Guayaquil. We had a lot of influence from France, Europe.
Really?
You see the designs of the houses, even in the people, the fashion was very European, especially France.
Fabricio put me to work. Ugh, manual labor. So early 20th century. Is this how they used to do it back in the day? They had horses? Or did they have horses?
We had horses.
Parque Histórico also has a zoo with several species of animals native to the coast of Ecuador. Both the zoo and the park were built in the midst of a ginormous mangrove, which are pretty common in this part of the country. Can you tell me a little bit about the mangrove here? Did you guys build it from scratch, or you basically came into an existing mangrove?
They were here before this place.
Okay.
That's very special because some visitors think we planted, but they were here. They're very natural.
So people can come here and they can get a little feel of what Guayaquil was like back in the glory days, really, in the early 1900s. Also on the outskirts of town is the Jardín Botánico, or the Botanical Gardens. Here they have plants, flowers, butterflies, all indigenous to the area. In addition to the obvious plants, they also have a collection of amusing monkeys. But if you want to really get up close to some native animals, just head to Iguana Park. Smack in the middle of Guayaquil is Parque Bolívar, where there's a monument to the South American liberator. But most people come here to see the more famous residents, the iguanas. Hence the unofficial name, Iguana Park. After busing all the way from Quito, I arrived at my final destination, Montañita. I finally made it to the beach. I'm in the coastal town of Montañita. Now, I don't know what to expect, but I've heard a lot of good things, and it's going to be a good time. Montañita is one of the more touristy parts of Ecuador. Depending on when you visit, you may see more foreigners than locals, and foreigners that become locals. Just a few years ago, Montañita was a sleepy little beach town. Now it's not so sleepy as it's grown to include vacation homes, hotels, restaurants, and bars. But Montañita is still a great escape, and it has plenty of economical lodging for the indie traveler. In Montañita, it seems like everyone comes out at night. You can get a sit-down meal, or if you're on a tight budget, walk around and sample Ecuador's ever-present street food. The nightlife scene is big, with partiers going all night, but not for me. Not tonight, at least. I have a big day tomorrow. This town is very laid back, but with lots to do. Surfing is the main attraction, and surfers flock from all over the world to hit the killer waves off the point in Montañita. How can I come to Surf Haven and not take a class? I was lucky enough to have one of Ecuador's top surfers, Eusebio Rodriguez, as my instructor. The first thing I had to do was put on my surf gear. Man, this shirt is tight. I feel like I'm at the Jersey Shore. Our lesson started with the very basics, like how to get in the water board in hand without maiming yourself. You need a lesson for that? This might be tougher than I thought.
We're going as maximum below your chest, as maximum.
Okay.
You're not too deep, because if you go too deep, you will be dead.
Oh Lord, look at those waves.
Then we're going to watch a wave, a good wave, a fun wave for you. Then you will turn your board, you lay down your board, try to feel the balance, the position and everything, start paddling.
Okay.
You paddle really hard where the wave is coming. You catch the wave, and after you catch the wave, you stand up.
Is that easy?
Yeah, that's the introduction.
Okay.
So we're off. My first couple of attempts were laughable. Catching a good wave is muy importante, and not easy, but Eusebio helped me. 30 minutes later, I was getting the hang of it. And finally, I got a clean ride. Kelly Slater, eat your heart out.
So when you come to Montanita, you at least gotta try to surf.
Ecuador is a small country with a big heart and lots of soul. Incredible indigenous cultures, beautiful biodiversity, and an emerging ecotourism industry. It's got some of the highest altitude peaks in the world, along with coastal beaches and some of the best waves in Latin America. But as always, it boils down to the people. I'll always remember the laughter from the children, the hospitality shown to us by complete strangers who are now our friends, and chatting with indigenous grandmas. And while sometimes we were light years away culturally, we all seem to understand the value of a heartfelt smile.